Hello and welcome to our special ITV News program. We will have the latest about Ukraine and Russia. Here is what's coming up. Russia and Ukraine are still at war, but tonight we will bring you all the latest. Also on the program, how much food are left in Ukraine? And we are setting up the armies to fight in war.
ITV News with Owen Shreves.
Good evening, welcome to our special ITV News program. I will be with you all the way till 9:30. Tonight we'll bring you all the latest from Ukraine and Russia. But let's kick off the show as Russia booms soon in SHELTERING 4,400 people in MARIUPOL as VIVILINSFORFIBL taken. Here is the latest.
That which Russia intends to conquer, it first destroys. It is a cruel lesson written into the ruins of Mariupol, a city whose misfortune it was to stand in the invader's path along Ukraine's southern coast.
Лидеры Америки и Франции, вы обещали нам системы ПВО.
This is police officer turned soldier Mikhail Vishinin. Our children, our elderly are dying, he says. We're being wiped from the map. The city, besieged for weeks and now cut off from the sea, is a scene of street-by-street fighting. These unverified pictures appear to show Chechen soldiers, Russia's fearsome allies, leading the advance in what would be a rare and significant victory for the Kremlin. Lucky are the civilians who escape unscathed. Here, refugees have made it to territory long held by pro-Russian rebels. Ukraine's authorities claim many more have been forcibly moved into Russia itself.
Блокадний Маріуполь увійде в історію.
President Zelensky said the blockade of Mariupol was a war crime that will be remembered for a century. The more it deploys terror, he said, the worse the consequences will be for Russia. Sheltering underground, the capital contemplates its own potential fate. In the children's hospital lies a young girl injured by Russian bullets that killed her father and brother as the family tried to escape. 4 children are among more than... The hospital's director, Russia's defense ministry, released these pictures, described as their most advanced fighter planes, last used to destroy cities in Syria, in action again, as Ukraine called for urgent and meaningful peace talks, but perhaps too late for Mariupol, a city at the limits of resistance. John Ray, ITV News.
Yeah, and all that at iTVNews.com/news. Yes, so tonight we'll bring you all the latest from Ukraine and Russia. Okay, so how is the food doing in Ukraine? the food is not doing very well, as they say the food has been running out. So people in Ukraine are helping people with some food, with some water and some fries, some sales helping now, and we're sending some armies over to help in the war. In the ivynews.com/lose. Alright, staying on with the topic, Washington to raise Ukraine to BRICS, waiting to be free by choosing the waited in speech. Here is the latest.
With the sun out in Blackpool, a run along the beach. With the sun out in Blackpool, a run along the beach was how the Prime Minister opted to prepare this morning. How are you feeling ahead of your speech today?
Good morning. Everyone.
Despite having a difficult few months, there are still party members rushing to get a glimpse of Boris Johnson.
I'm really excited to hear the Prime Minister. I caught him at the gala yesterday very quickly. It was a very rousing speech.
He's always been a good speaker, so no doubt it'll be entertaining.
Among the crowd today was the Ukrainian ambassador, who had a front row seat reserved for him. He watched on as the Prime Minister spoke about the invasion.
We stand with the Ukrainian people, and our hearts go out to them. With every day that Ukraine's heroic resistance continues, it is clear that Putin has made a catastrophic mistake.
That was followed by this stark warning.
If Putin succeeds in crushing Ukraine, it will be the green light for autocrats everywhere. This is a turning point for the world. And it's conservatives who stand up for freedom against the blackmail of Vladimir Putin. Thank you. Thank you.
It is a Prime Minister who was under significant pressure, with some within his own party calling for him to resign over Partygate not long ago. The applause from his party faithful today will be a huge relief, but those questions over his leadership will remain looming until the police conclude their investigation. Senior ministers, however, remain positive about the Prime Minister's performance.
We are actually the leader in the amount of aid we've spent in Ukraine, not just military aid, but humanitarian aid. On the Partygate stuff, look, there is an investigation. The Prime Minister's apologised. There's a police investigation ongoing. I think we should wait for those results.
It's been a tough ride for the Prime Minister in recent months, who'll now be wishing to see the end of dealing with crisis after crisis. Shihab Khan, ITV News, Blackpool.
Yeah, and you can get all the news about Ukraine and Russia at ivynews.com/lose. So our question from ITV News is, how can we help the people in Ukraine? So you people have been commenting in and sending in your ideas. So Emily says we should send the armies over to fight. Sen says we should send some boys over to fight. And Callum says we should set off ladies to fight. Thank you so much. And if you have more sessions and we can help the Ukraine, I can help the Ukraine people, those are ivynews.com/lose. Washington to main solution of HYPERSONICILE in Ukraine for the first time. Here is the latest.
A child is pulled from the rubble after a Russian attack on an army barracks in the strategic southern city of Mykolaiv. ITV News has not been able to verify these videos, but it's thought at least 40 people died after 3 cruise missiles hit the base. It happened at such close range, said the city's mayor. There was no time for air raid sirens to warn people their lives were in danger. Faced with the devastation of his country, in the early hours of this morning, Ukraine's President Zelensky issued a rallying cry for peace and once again called for talks. But this is the language Russia is using. The country's defense ministry releasing this video, which it says shows the destruction of a Ukrainian army stronghold, while elsewhere Russia stepped up its attack, for the first time using hypersonic missiles that can avoid detection to decimate a large underground military warehouse. And down in Mariupol, fighting over one of Europe's largest steel factories that's been firing the economy here since the 1930s. While on residential streets, more than 300,000 citizens in the grip of urban soldiers released this video of their attack on a tower block amid reports that a route out of the besieged city is one of 10 humanitarian corridors to have been agreed. And despite the onslaught, in Kyiv's central square, people came out to lay tulips in the shape of Ukraine's coat of arms, an act of defiance as they search for any signs of hope. Hannah Miller, ITV News.
Yeah, thank you. And for the latest, and the latest of Ukraine and Russia are very sad at the moment. And we're going, as Britain, we're going to help Ukraine. So if you have any suggestions, what we can do to help, please do, because it's going to be amazing. If we go and help Ukraine, it will be amazing. It would be amazing. So please help Ukraine, because it is a really sad moment at the moment, and it's really sad because it's really sad, and some people are crying about it. So there. Okay, it is coming up to 12:07. Still to come on the ITV News special. Ukraine and Russia are still at war, but we don't know when the war will be over. We will still have the latest. And what can Britain do to help? More on that, still to come. Capital Kyiv. Very different city to Russians, as VITALTSCHKO says he should rather die in Kyiv. Here is the latest.
It is unbelievable for everyone, and yet this is the norm. They heard the strike, and when they emerged from their homes, here's what they saw. The flats were not spared, nor were schools and nurseries. The places where families lived, where children learned. Many were injured. One person was killed. They'd stepped outside just after the curfew ended.
Какая-то ракета, наверное, я не знаю, что там попало. Ну, как бы меня ударной волной отнесло, стекла посыпались, все. Я не знаю. Я не знаю. Я бы убила Путина сейчас.
In fact, everywhere we went, Putin's name was brought up.
Нет слов, понимаете?
Я бы этого Путина задушил бы вот этими руками.
Понимаете?
The skyline in Kyiv tells two stories. Look one way and you see the past, but on the horizon things look more bleak. Today a Western official said Russia has enough firepower to carry out an intense bombardment for weeks, with Putin pursuing a strategy of attrition. What are his tactics? What's his objective for Kyiv?
The Russians had plans to occupy Kyiv already 3 weeks ago, but our army destroyed whole plans of Russians. And Russians, I am, as mayor, talk to you, to talk to everyone. Never ever Russians to come to our city. Better we die if give the city to Russians.
But some of this country's allies believe Russia's plan is to keep doing this, to wear down Ukraine's army and its people. Rohit Katru, News at 10, Kyiv.
And the news in Ukraine is really sad, so we are, as Britain, we're going to help. Okay. And it is really heartbreaking, and it is really heartbreaking because the Ukraine are at war, and it is just really sad at the moment. It is really sad at the moment, and we're going to help the people in Ukraine. Okay, but okay, some kids are in Ukraine and they are playing war. It's heartbreaking because they've been war with like on kids. Like, what are you gonna do? If they're parents, and if kids are watching the news tonight, speak to your parents there. Because we got at iTV.com we got a quiz about the war. What can you do? It's all at iTV.com/news. But if you ever worry about the war, please always talk to us. What's the title? Always talk to us. What's the title? And go to iTV.com/news to find out more. A newborn SURROCATE babies wrapped in the war zone as Kyiv is at war. But some people don't know when the war will be over. So here's the latest about the newborn.
You can see them really clearly now, can't you?
This is the moment in Kyiv last year when Joanna Field saw her unborn twins and heard their heartbeat for the first time. Her surrogate, who's now 29 weeks pregnant, lives in the south of Ukraine with her own young family. Back in Tamworth, Joanna waits for daily updates and is already making plans for the dangerous journey to bring her babies home.
I've been advised, obviously, against travel into Ukraine, but I'll do everything that I can to get there, to be with her when she gives birth, and to be there with my babies to bring them home. I'm terrified, absolutely terrified, but it's something that I will do. I'm going to do it for her, and I'm going to do it for my babies.
At a Kyiv surrogacy clinic, 21 new babies wait for their intended parents. Born into a war zone, their first few weeks have been spent in a makeshift nursery underground, cared for by a team of nannies. The Home Office has now changed immigration rules to make it easier for babies or their pregnant surrogates to come to the UK. Natalie Gamble's helping 29 British families expecting children through surrogates in Ukraine.
these are babies that have been waited for a very, very long time. Surrogacy is not something that parents do lightly. Nobody expected to find themselves in the position they're now in. And without exception, they are all desperately worried and desperately frightened about the safety of their surrogates and their families, and of course their baby as well.
In North London, Raphael's parents are relieved to have him home. They got back from Ukraine just days before the Russian invasion.
Me and my wife sort of joked that, for years trying to have a baby, we felt very unlucky. And actually now, obviously, now we have Rafa, we feel incredibly lucky, incredibly grateful to all the Ukrainians that made that possible. And really lucky with our timing, that he was born the exact right time for us to get home.
A little boy blissfully unaware of what he has escaped. Martha Fairley, ITV News.
Yeah, a newborn baby is being born in Ukraine, and it is really sad because they be born and they don't know what to expect. So it is really heartbreaking and sad because what you can do, newborn babies be born in the world and there's no idea what to do. And it's really upsetting. And some people, and if you're crying, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, but it's normal to cry. It is normal to cry, and it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to feel like this because a lot of people feel like this, and it is really heartbreaking and really upset about what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. But it's very, and some of you got questions. So if you got questions about the war or Ukraine, you can go to iTunes.com/news and put it on there, because tomorrow we got Dr. Deliri on the program, and she will tell you all the latest and she'll ask your questions. So if you want to ask Dr. Deliri tomorrow, go to iTunes.com/news for your questions. There you go. It's on iTunes.com. There's many questions you can, and she'll be hopefully asked of them. So, all our porters are in Kyiv, and they are so lucky because they are doing more things about what's happening in Ukraine, and it's really good because it's powerful. It is powerful what we need to know about Ukraine and Russia, because I'm here in the studio, but we are porters all around the world trying our best to find out what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. So there. Okay, it is 7:25. Should we look what is in the newspaper for this evening? So Russia and Ukraine are still at war, but some people are saying, when will the war end? No one knows. And also in the newspaper this evening, then the Rugby World Cup as Ireland beat Scotland. Yes, you can get all this newspaper. You can get this newspaper called the Sunday Mail on iTunes.com/news. Okay. We got a question. We got a lady called Emma says thank you to all the news programs talking about Ukraine, because it is really important to talk about it, because it is the important It is the important news right now in the world. It definitely is the important news right now in the news. It is really important. It is really important. important. So we need to know what's happening about the world. And some people call this World 3. I'm telling you guys now, this is not World 3. This is between Russia and Ukraine. So don't worry, people. Don't worry. Just stay calm and everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I'm telling you now, everything will be okay. Jesus, I can't imagine what will we do if World War 3. Jesus. But let's not go there. Let's not go there. So I know this is the ITV special about Ukraine and Russia. But should we do some sunshine to you? Let's do some happy news. Let's do a quick 5 minutes of happy news. Okay, so this was happy news, and Lady gave birth on the bus. Oh my god, how funny is that? And so funny. And also this week, a lady called Karen punched a man in the face and they punched each other. Oh, punch the rings. How funny is that? And a boxing match came back to life as the two parents punched and not killed, but came back alive. How funny is that? Oh, isn't there all this happy news at itv.com/news? I know this is supposed to be about. I know this is the ITV News special about. So tonight we're bringing all the latest from the Ukraine and Russia, but we do have to bring you some happy news as well, yeah. Okay, so that is the happy news for this week. Okay, now back to the Ukraine and Russia. ESCAPINCL on Earth, 17-year-old Ukraine on the last days informed MARUPOL. Here is the latest. Legal case, please don't watch this, because this will harm you.
Innocence of youth, stolen by war.
I think this thing stays with me for quite a long time.
17-year-old Yulia has escaped Mariupol, the epicenter of Russia's invasion.
There is a shh sound and there is boom. You have to lie down on the ground, cover your ears, open your mouth. All our windows, they fell right in. There were just holes in the walls.
With temperatures dropping to -7, they moved to a shelter.
We had to cook in the yard, on fire, like cavemen. It's hard to cook food when you're being bombed.
No power, no running water, no chance to rest. To escape the siege, the family packed their life into the boot of a car and ran the gauntlet by joining a convoy out of the city.
And all the time we were taking our things to the car, I was crying.
Along their road out of hell, Russian checkpoints.
On the first blog post, I was called an extremist.
Their target, videos of atrocities they don't want the world to see.
Guy stays there with a gun like hanging right on his chest, and he's telling me that I have to delete something from my phone.
Yulia's free from Mariupol, but not the war.
I don't want to leave my country, but I have no choice. I had a dream of going to Germany and studying there, but I didn't know if I can do it. And now I have a great opportunity to go there as a refugee, if I can make it.
She'll have to do that without her mother or stepfather, who stayed home to fight. Martin Stew, ITV News.
I'm back in my suit for that latest. This is, and welcome to the list book. Welcome to the king. Martin, what's his name? I can't remember his name. And remember, you can get all this news about Ukraine and Russia at itvnews.com/news. So some kids from Ukraine have been moved to schools in Poland. So a reporter Ali has been to a school in Poland and brought us the latest. You can get that at readers.com/news. Oh, it's nice. It's not nice. Sometimes it says some things, but it doesn't nice. And be careful what I say, what here on the list, because we are live people, we're live across the UK. Okay, so I need to be careful what I say. Okay, it is 7:33 on a Sunday, the 20th of March, 2022. So should we see what is the world, what is on the news living around the world. So Madden 10 to 10 in the INCUC to end. Double star boyfriend fights for life. Leon Lewis is expecting a first child. More on that at iRelease.com/news. And that is the news of the world. Okay. We did tell you guys we'll be on till 9:30, but Session Pants to football is on after this. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm really sorry about that. But don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow from 6:30 with the ITV evening news. But before we go this evening, we'll tell you how people can help the Ukraine. So the Ukraine, Britain can set armies over. They can, if you have a room in your house, they can stay in. Perfect. So do whatever you can do to help the Ukraine, please do. And please more about this at iRelease.com/news. Oh, it's been thank you for your company for this evening. It's been very nice talking to you and telling you about the news because it is credible. It is credible talking about the news and it's credible. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 with the RTV Evening News. But from everyone here, good night and stay safe.